From the firstregional.com studios, this is a severe weather live update.
Well, good afternoon, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecaster coming back here once again here to give you guys kind of a quick severe weather update here. I decided to kind of go live on Facebook and YouTube and also Roku to kind of talk to you guys about this ongoing severe thunderstorm warning over here in western and northwestern Arkansas. Looks like right as I was going live, they dropped the tornado possible tag. And now it is a severe thunderstorm warning, just a base severe thunderstorm warning here. So mainly it's going to be for the potential 60-mile-per-hour winds, and we'll have to keep an eye on that tornado threat. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to double box myself. Give me just a second. And that should take care of that here, guys. So like I said, right now we're just kind of keeping an eye on everything here, make sure my audio is good, make sure we're good to go there. Just kind of welcome in if you're just now joining in. I have to keep an eye on this situation here in western northwestern Arkansas. This line has had a history of producing damaging winds upwards to 60 to 70 miles per hour. And also that brief rotation here. Like I said before, this was tour pause right before I decided to go live. I was kind of hesitant on it for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then the tornado possible continued. Now it has dropped. Now it's gone to a severe thunderstorm warning, just kind of a base severe thunderstorm warning for our folks up here in western northwestern Arkansas. So right now we're going to keep an eye on it here. I think if there were to be any kind of area of rotation that we'll have to keep a close eye on, it's going to be just to the west and southwest of Fort Smith along the southern edge of this line. This line is going to play a very crucial role in our severe threat as moving this afternoon into this evening. It's going to leave a boundary out. More storms are going to initiate as we move into that 3, 4, 5 o'clock p.m. time frame, and that's where things could get a little interesting for us here in Arkansas. So right now, like so forth, just looking at the camera here, thanks to Joint Forces K-9 group up here in northwestern Arkansas, Solon Springs, 61 degrees right now here. You're not going to see much out of this because it's just heavily rain wrapped. I think if there were to be any kind of rotation, we'll have to watch that southern end. But right now it looks like National Weather Service up there in Tulsa feels comfortable enough to drop the tornado possible tag and go for more of a broad-based severe thunderstorm warning here, mainly until 11:45 this morning here. So like I said before, we are going to keep an eye on this situation later on this afternoon and this evening. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to try to show you guys some futurecast data here just a little bit. This is going to be a pretty quick live stream because obviously the tornado possible tag's been gone. I'm going to watch this southern end. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to zoom in real quick and I'm going to stop the radar. So here's Fort Smith. Give me just a second. There's Fort Smith. This is going to be the area that you're going to have to watch very closely here. There's something that you're going to have to watch to see if this thing were to try to rotate here. I don't think this is going to pose too big of an issue for us here in northwestern Arkansas. I think this is mainly going to be for the potential 60-mile-per-hour winds, maybe some hail here, but I know earlier on this particular line of storms back out in Oklahoma does have a history of producing tornadoes here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, no tornado warning in place, and they did drop the tornado possible tag with this storm here. So what I'm going to do for just a bit is I'm going to go to a more of a statewide view here, and I want to show you guys what's going on because we've got a lot of questions about, is this going to be a major outbreak for Arkansas? What to expect? This kind of came out of nowhere. We've been talking about this over the last couple of days that the severe threat was going to be at the potential here in Arkansas. Right now, I do not think this is going to be a massive tornado outbreak or severe weather outbreak or anything like that, mainly because of the fact that there is a lot of cloud cover in place in Arkansas right now. And in order for this to be a much bigger threat than what it is, we need some breaks in the clouds here. And I'm starting to see that a little bit here, especially looking to the south. Have to keep an eye on that here. Temperatures are able to warm up a little bit more with the dynamics we have in place. That will lead to some potential of severe weather as moving this afternoon and into this evening here. So what I'm going to do for just a moment is I'm going to show you guys Futurecast, kind of show you guys what to expect this afternoon into this evening. And then I'm going to hop off of here. We're going to go back to the kind of the regular programming here because they did drop that tornado possible tag. It's kind of the reason why I went live to begin with. So give me just a second here. Let me get that Futurecast up for you guys. And we're going to talk about that for just a little bit. So let me go ahead and do this. Give me 1 second here. I got to got to switch over to my other scenes over here. So I'm going to take off the current radar. So this is current radar, by the way, just showing that line of storms in northwestern Arkansas. That broad severe thunderstorm warning is going to go for just 60-mile-per-hour winds here. There is that tornado possible tag up there in Missouri, but nothing for northwestern Arkansas at this particular moment here. Obviously, we're going to be on standby. We're going to kind of keep an eye on the situation. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this out all the way through. Actually, let me switch that. Thank you. All right, so give it just a second here. It should be loading up, coming up here in just a minute. And if it doesn't, then give me just a second. I'll get it up for you guys. And that's going to be the reflectivity. There we go. All right, so I'm going to take this out about 18 hours here. So give it just a second to download here. And you guys are going to see the timing. It's going to be up here at the top corner of your screen. I'm going to make this a full box since we're not showing any kind of tornado warnings right now. So give me just a second here. I got to switch over to my shows over here. So let me go over to the main channel here. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. And we're going to talk to you guys about kind of what to expect this evening and into tonight here. Okay, so Futurecast is loading up. Should be coming up here just a second here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to zoom this out so you guys kind of get a visual of what we're expecting here. Okay, so right now, obviously, we're tracking that line of storms up there in northwestern Arkansas. This is where things are going to get a little bit kind of interesting for us here in Arkansas. So this line of storms up here in northwestern Arkansas, that's going to move east. Now, the questions that I have with this being a severe weather threat is, can we get cloud breaks? Can we get the sunshine to come out? And can we get these temperatures to warm up? You've got the moisture, you've got the wind shear, you've got your dynamics, you've got a good amount in place for a pretty decent severe weather threat here. But can we get some cloud breaks to help that severe threat mature a little bit more? Because if you don't, then what's going to end up happening is there's going to be what's called a stable layer in place, and it's going to help kind of keep the storms from really realizing their potential, if that makes sense here. So I'm going to take this out all the way to about, let's go 7 p.m. Okay, so my number one concern right now is, number one, this line of storms out here in northwestern Arkansas is going to die. Okay, when that happens, it's going to leave what we call kind of an outflow boundary stretching from northeast Texas all the way up into southern Missouri here. Now, when that occurs, like I mentioned before, is from now to 7 o'clock. So you have a pretty decent amount of time to kind of keep an eye on if the cloud breaks, if we get sunshine, if temperatures were to rapidly warm up. Then we'll have to watch every single one of these cells out here in western Arkansas here, primarily my folks down here in southwestern Arkansas. I'm not saying this is going to be a massive tornado outbreak by any stretch of the matter. I want to make that crystal clear. Could there be a tornado warning or two with these storms? Yes, if we get enough sufficient heating to kind of help that in place. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this. So I've got the reflectivity. I'm going to overlay it with the surface cape, or what we call the instability here. Okay, so we're going to go out to, if you give me 1 second here, I got to reload this. So kind of show you guys what we're expecting here. So give me 1 second. So that's the current instability out here in northwestern Arkansas. Okay, so what happens here at 2 o'clock, we've got some cells developing down here near the Little Rock area here. Got Pine Bluff down here towards Camden and El Dorado. You got some storms that are going to try to form up, but your instability really starts to increase this afternoon here. So this is suggesting that we can get some cloud breaks, we can get some sunshine, and that's where things may get a little interesting for us here in Arkansas. So let's take this out all the way to about 7 o'clock. And as you can see, as that boundary begins to move towards the east, those storms really start to grow. They really start to develop across western and southwestern Arkansas. So I'm going to keep an eye on these cells. Obviously, if anything happens, we're going to be here. We're going to be live. I highly recommend you guys go download our Roku channel and go download our mobile app here, Arkansas Weather Watchers and Natural State Weather Live for our Roku channel here, guys. Okay, so this is 7 o'clock. I'm going to take this out all the way to about 10 here. Now, a couple of things here. Number one, I am concerned about potential supercells this afternoon into this evening, primarily for my folks from northeast Arkansas all the way down towards central and down into southwestern Arkansas here. Now, Another concern I have is damaging winds, because you can see all these storms kind of line up as one, and also these cells that may pop up ahead of the line here. So that's something that we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on as we move into this afternoon, into this evening. The main threat's going to be the potential of seeing damaging winds, some large hail, and that tornado threat. That tornado threat is something that we're going to have to watch this afternoon and into tonight. I think this should come to an end just shortly after midnight here. Like I said before, I don't think this is going to be a massive outbreak of severe weather, but it should be coming to an end about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Some leftover instability. Looks like a line of storms forms out there in Mississippi, guys. So right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to regular programming. I think we're good right now. We're going to kind of do one last check. Let's take a look up here in northwestern Arkansas. Got this line of storms that's developed up here near Fayetteville, near the Cedarville area here. We're going to watch it very closely here, especially down here near the Cedarville and the Fort Smith area. Right now, this is just a regular severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to go until 11:45 this morning. Main threat's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Could be some small hail in there, but should not be that big of an issue. It's just what happens as this line pushes off towards the east, and with these cells that are going to develop ahead of it and along that boundary that it leaves. As it moves to the east later this afternoon to this evening here, guys. So I think that's pretty much it right now. What I'm going to do here real quick, for those that did join us this afternoon, I'm going to draw this line, and I'm going to move it to the east at about, let's go 40 miles per hour. And right now it looks like it's going to be Johnson right around 11:30. Let's see, that's going to be Mountainburg 11:46, Fort Smith coming up at 11:50. We've got, let's see, that's the Dyer area, Central City, right around lunch. Greenwood, right around lunch. The Charleston, Ozark area, right around 12:15. And then Branch, right around 12:20 here. Main threat, like I mentioned before, 60-mile-per-hour winds. This line is going to kind of, I don't want to say die off, but it's just going to fade away as it moves off towards the east. And it's going to leave a boundary. Said boundary is going to lead for the potential of seeing some more thunderstorms as we move in this afternoon and into this evening here, guys. So I think that's pretty much it for right now. Obviously, we'll be here. We'll have radar updates on the page. And if a rotation were to develop along this line, it does go severe thunderstorm warning to a pause or a tornado warning is issued, we'll be here. And we'll continue to keep you guys updated right in your source for all things Arkansas weather.